by calling WNZK Radio at 248-557-3500.
Welcome to the bright side of aging. My name is Ike Engelbaum. I'm a pharmacist and the publisher of AmericanSeniorGazette.org. It has been wisely said, you cannot help getting older, but you can help getting old. It has also been said that age is a matter of the mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. My purpose in doing the show is so that seniors and caregivers can share their ideas and questions on how we can age gracefully and in a vertical position for as long as our good genes will allow. And if we've inherited bad genes, how to outwit them. Our topics include senior housing, financial, legal, safety, travel, health issues, interesting senior events in the community, and most of all, tips on how to put old on hold. When it's time to move, don't trust all your memories and most prized possessions to just some guys with a truck. Get personalized first-class treatment from bonded and experienced moving professionals. If you're confused about all the details involved in moving from one household to another, call 1-888-489-8980. Is always the concern of who should I call about the utilities? How shall I handle my household appliances? What should I do about my pets? What do I need to handle in advance of the move? For a free brochure titled Practical Hints to Make Moving Day Easier, call Aberdeen Van Lines at 1-888-489-8980. We can even help you in selling your home or any furniture that you may no longer wish for your next move. Let Aberdeen help make your move a dream. So call 1-888-489-8980 now.
If you need a helping hand to stay at home, or maybe you'd like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or run errands for you, or maybe you're going to need help with bathing or personal grooming, or you need home renovations to enable you to stay in that home safely and securely. Or maybe you can't leave your home, but you need somebody to come in and do things like a doctor, a nurse, a podiatrist, a dentist, or to have your prescriptions delivered to you. Well, House Calls on Wheels is the answer to all of that. House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. And all the medical services are covered by insurance. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour. So if you or someone you know needs a helping hand at home, call House Calls on Wheels for a free in-home consultation. And that toll-free number is 1-888-489-8980. All right? That's 1-888-489-8980.
And we're here, and hopefully you are there, because otherwise it's not much of a radio show, is it? I have been noted to be talking to myself. And by the way, that is not the worst thing in the world to have happen, because as we age, the process of trying to share ideas with people that you don't feel can be helpful to you, or you just want to relax, talking to yourself is not the worst thing. And in fact, I'm reminded of one of my favorite stories about these two guys that are walking in the woods together, and one guy is talking to himself, and the other guy says, "Hey, are you walking and talking to yourself?" He said, "Yes, and it's a private conversation." Having a private conversation is not the worst thing, and especially if you like to walk in nature and what have you, and just appreciating what you're looking at is great. And I really have some exciting news for you. As you know, the first segment is titled Bright Side of Aging, where I try to bring out positive aspects of aging and what you can do about it, because as I say, aging is inevitable, wisdom is optional. We have our next guest in the next segment, in the entrepreneur segment, David Hopman, who is a photographer who has gone into the whole aspect of virtual walking. In other words, you put these glasses on and actually you feel that you're right in the woods without being in the woods. We're going to be doing seminars on this, and as they say, stay posted. If you are interested in meeting with him, he'll be joining us tomorrow from 9:15 to 10:30 at the Level 1 Bank, 37100 Woodward, which is the southeast corner of Woodward and Big Beaver. And the beautiful part about that is that it's free. We try to help seniors and veterans and young people to start their own business or have a self-employable type business out of their home. What we do that's different with the Entrepreneurs Network is that age is not a factor. What is a factor is for us to try to identify what you'd like to do to earn extra income. And we've had some phenomenal success stories. The Level 1 Bank is very gracious. We have the use of their back area there. We can generally only hold about 20 people. So it would be great if you could call ahead, 888-489-8980. Free coffee, free refreshments, and we give out a lot of great advice. And I am really very interested in seeing some of the people that are listening to the show. And after you hear our two guests in the next segment, David Hopman and Dr. Dustin Marsh, we'll be able to hopefully motivate you to give them a call or come and visit with us in our meetings. We now started another session of the Entrepreneurs Network in West Bloomfield at the All Seasons Center, which is on Drake Road, just south of Walnut. That's going to be on the 28th. We're going to try to meet there every other Tuesday. But always check us out via EntrepreneurSNetworkOfMichigan.com or just the old-fashioned way, 888-489-8980. That's 888-489-8980. I enjoy hearing some of your challenges and making a positive change in them. So feel free to call me about almost anything. Sounds sort of impossible, but, you know, if you break down the word impossible, the two first letters, what do you get? Well, you get I am possible. And I try to convey that with the people that I encounter, and hopefully you'll be one of those. And one of the people that I'm really excited about having had encountered while he lived in Michigan is Dr. Andre Lee. He was the administrator for Highland Park General Hospital, and then when they closed up, like some people saying, oh my goodness, I am out of work, and the hospital closed up, and go on and all in a negative way. Not Dr. Lee, and that's why he and I have developed a pretty great friendship. And I pride myself in having him as part of my life because he took his talents and started not only teaching, he still teaches. He also has assisted people that wanted to start a hospice center and actually gave them the how-to, and they've been very successful. And the reason they were successful is because he's successful. And Dr. Andre Lee, unfortunately for me, that almost rhymes, moved to Tennessee. But being a devoted husband, he wanted to support his wife, who had a great opportunity to get a position in Nashville. And he now works with churches and also with veterans because he himself is a veteran, and he's got some new concepts that are ideal for churches and organizations that actually can follow a simple program of how they can connect with their membership or congregants and do it in an interesting and informative way. Hello, Dr. Andre Lee.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I want to take credit for that invention, but it's not mine. So I kind of researched and found it. Okay, it's a mobile app that downloads on any smartphone, and it becomes what I call a church without walls. And too many churches, particularly the small ones, are losing membership because they're getting old or the people move. And I'm saying, why are you confined by the walls? People that don't come, why not reach out to them? With this technology we have today, you can put your sermons, your scripture lessons, your announcements of events, all on this mobile app, and it goes out to your membership, so that you never lose touch with them, and that relationship continues. And you can do online giving with it, so that people, if they don't make it to church that Sunday for whatever reason, they can still send in their money. And the thing about it is this mobile app is too expensive for a small church. It's good for a big church. But what I have done is worked out a deal with the company, and I'm able to bring on churches, small churches, with me. So we partner together, and each church has its own segment. Okay, but we're in a partnership. And so it becomes it's very inexpensive, if any expense at all. And this is the thing that the churches, and I've signed up 4 churches yesterday.
Wow.
So it's really starting to take off now. It was a little slow for a minute because people didn't understand it, but now they're all excited about it.
Well, you know, they say there are 3 groups of people on earth, and the one group make things happen, and the second group watch things happen, and then there's a third group, unfortunately, that stand around and say, well, what happened? Okay, so to your credit, Dr. Lee, you didn't invent this, but you saw a great opportunity for churches to suddenly connect with people that for one reason or another, because they physically can't get there, or possibly they have a situation that they just are interested in being at home because that's their home environment, so to speak. So can you give me a little more detail? Let's say someone that's listening belongs to a church. What should they do?
They should call your number and give me a number to contact them.
No.
And then once that happens, and the church says, I will send them material to look at, but it's easy to do. Once they say, I want to do it, then I set it up. And the only thing, and it takes me 24 to 48 hours to set it up. And then the online giving, they take care of themselves. I don't get involved in their church finance. And then it should be. It's confidential. But it takes a few days to set that up. But once it's set up, it's easy. It's easy after that. The members, then all they have to do is call a certain number, and they get a link, and they download it to their phone.
Now, do you see that maybe people that are members of that particular congregation are in business and they want to offer their fellow members or even to the community an incentive for them to come to their location, either doctors or for a retail location? Is there advertising capability?
Once I get there is. Once I get enough churches signed up, then imagine that if you take 6 to a dozen churches, each with, let's say, 500 members each. Now you got a captive audience that you want to advertise to. All you got to do is pay a nominal fee to sponsor, and you're in. It doesn't cost you anything, and your name or your company goes out on a lot of material that circulates in those churches. I mean, that's cheap advertising, but it's captive advertising as well.
Right, right. Well, you remind me of one of my favorite cartoons when I hear raising money and advertising and promoting. It's I saw this on a back cover of a magazine that the phone company AT&T puts out. They showed this elderly woman, white hair with a house frock on, and obviously looked very grandma-ish. And in her hand, she had a package of birth control pills. Okay? So you see this, and the caption was, always make sure that you show your product to the right audience.
Exactly.
So here, if you're a member of the church, and especially businesses around the church, or possibly members of the congregation, want to reach out to their fellow members and encourage them to do business with them, the business can then afford probably to make a more substantial donation, and likewise the members can appreciate knowing what each other does.
Well, I got one better than that.
How about that? All right.
Well, here's the thing. You got webinars that you could do online, and what if you say you're a business, let's say, that deals with security, and you say, I want to do a webinar, 1 hour webinar on personal security, how to practice personal security techniques. And you do a webinar that we can promote to the church. People sign up to attend the webinar. Now you're not selling your company per se, but you're selling the product.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
you
exactly.
sponsor the webinar.
Right. Well, that's what's so exciting about technology, if it's used in the right way. And there's no printing costs, there's no paper, there's no postage stamps. You don't have to do anything that, as in the past, just made so many different projects impossible, because the costs in getting a message out were overwhelming, and by the time all the dust settled, a lot of people spent a lot of time and really got no return on their time at all. And as you well know, one thing in life that you should never waste is your time.
Exactly. That's so true.
Right. And if you're using it the right way, your time today can be magnified to not only for self-improvement with these webinars. They're informative, and at the same time the person that's promoting it can help the congregation. And just to make clear for a lot of people, there are so many security type of issues that people are not aware that are available at a very nominal cost, and at the same time everyone benefits. I
just pitched this to the Tennessee Hospital Association last night, and they're going to put it out to their member hospitals, and I said hospitals need to do more in terms of health education to their patients. And
right.
This is a marvelous way to do it.
Right. And the beautiful part about it is you don't have to get into a car, and if you can't get there, you're right in your home. Or wherever you are. It'd be ideal for retirement homes. You've got seniors there that unfortunately are not physically able to get out, but if they're physically able to get out, even though a lot of these places have bus service and what have you, the bus isn't always available when you need it. So this is fantastic, and I'm so proud of you, because I know it took a lot of thinking on your end to get it together, and anyone that's interested, for more information, I'd like to give out my toll-free number, which is 888-489-8980. That's 888-489-8980, and I can put you in touch with Dr. Lee, because he's got other things that he's working on that unfortunately we don't have time. We don't have time today. But I look forward to our visit next week, Dr. Andre Lee. Keep on keeping on, all right?
Not to worry.
All right, God bless. All right, have a good one. Right now, we'll take a brief break, and we'll be right back. When it's time to move, don't trust all your memories and most prized possessions to just some guys with a truck. Get personalized first-class treatment from bonded and experienced moving professionals. If you're confused about all the details involved in moving from one household to another, call 1-888-489-8980. Is always the concern of who should I call about the utilities? How shall I handle my household appliances? What should I do about my pets? What do I need to handle in advance of the move? For a free brochure titled Practical Hints to Make Moving Day Easier, call Aberdeen Van Lines at 1-888-489-8980. We can even help you in selling your home or any furniture that you may no longer wish for your next move. Let Aberdeen help make your move a dream. So call 1-888-489-8980 now.
If you need a helping hand to stay at home, or maybe you'd like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or run errands for you, or maybe you're going to need help with bathing or personal grooming, or you need home renovations to enable you to stay in that home safely and securely. Or maybe you can't leave your home, but you need somebody to come in and do things like a doctor, a nurse, a podiatrist, a dentist, or to have your prescriptions delivered to you. Well, House Calls on Wheels is the answer to all of that. House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. And all the medical services are covered by insurance. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour. So if you or someone you know needs a helping hand at home, call House Calls on Wheels for a free in-home consultation. And that toll-free number is 1-888-489-8980. All right? That's 1-888-489-8980.
And welcome back, and I'm really excited about having one of my sponsors is Renaissance Festival. For those of you who have not heard about it, it's really a joy starting this weekend, and it ends at the end of September. They go like from Friday to Sunday. Renaissance Festival is, believe it or not, a national type thing they do in major cities all around the country. And they're going to be out in Holly. But anyway, they've got turkey legs and all kinds of different festivities. And if you call in and just to inquire or contact any of our sponsors while I have some tickets left, you will get 2 free tickets. Is that a deal or what? You don't even have to use the services, but at least we'd like for you to get to know the sponsors better. House Calls on Wheels is something that I'm really proud of being involved with. And unfortunately, when you hear these commercials many times, you don't really get to know all of the services available. feel free to call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980. And I've had calls that may seem, almost a waste of time to listen to, but in that person's life, it's made all the difference in the world. And I can give you just a few examples. I'll never forget, I had this woman, and I could tell by her voice she was really very anxious about it. Her driver's license had expired the day before, and she was afraid to get into her car until she got the new license. And unfortunately, she didn't have a car to drive that she felt comfortable in, and she had no relatives. Now, I said, well, can't someone in the neighborhood say, I really don't talk to most of my neighbors that much, and I hate to call them for something that is so simple. The Secretary of State is only about 5 miles away. So guess what? We sent one of our drivers out, took her to the Secretary of State, and it made all the difference in the world, and it was a very nominal fee. And we try to work within your budget. And we're very sensitive that if you are especially in need of health care, there are all kinds of programs that a lot of seniors are not aware of. For example, if you're a veteran, are you aware if you have a relative taking care of you, they do not have to do this without being compensated. I've seen so many sad situations where a member of the family quits their job to help a relative because they can't afford to bring in help to help their relative. Well, if you're a veteran, you get up to $2,200, or at least close to $2,000. And this is assuming that you are indeed taking care of someone that's in need of home care. Also, with house calls on wheels, for example, if you are using any medical services, if you're over 65, your Medicare pays for any medical-related services. If it's non-medical, of course, then they expect you to pay for it in cash. But we'll work with you if you're using any of our medical care services. The non-medical services could be as low as $10 an hour. Now, quite frankly, people flipping hamburgers in places without having to do more than just flipping the hamburgers and making sure that it's not burned makes that kind of money. And here we're taking care of people that are in need. So hang on to that number, 888-489-8980, because, as I like to say, one call and we can do it all. Wow, that should be a slogan. And I've got some other features of our company that I'd like to share, but not today because we run out of time. And I never like to leave this segment without my favorite parting thought, which is, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. And that's why we call it the present. Please enjoy your present by looking and living life with the bright side of aging. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Our mission is to interview successful entrepreneurs who are willing to share with us their ideas and experiences, both the successes and the failures. Because as it has been jokingly said, You should learn from the mistakes of others because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. My name is Ike Engelbaum, and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is a group of motivated people that are all interested in helping each other and achieving our personal and professional goals. Please check out our website, entrepreneursnetworkofmichigan.com, for meeting schedule as well as self-improvement material. Our philosophy is that if it's to be, it's up to me. When it's time to move, don't trust all your memories and most prized possessions to just some guys with a truck. Get personalized first-class treatment from bonded and experienced moving professionals. If you're confused about all the details involved in moving from one household to another, call 1-888-489-8980. Is always the concern of who should I call about the utilities? How shall I handle my household appliances? What should I do about my pets? What do I need to handle in advance of the move? For a free brochure titled Practical Hints to Make Moving Day Easier, call Aberdeen Van Lines at 1-888-489-8980. We can even help you in selling your home or any furniture that you may no longer wish for your next move. Let Aberdeen help make your move a dream. So call 1-888-489-8980 now.
If you need a helping hand to stay at home, or maybe you'd like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or run errands for you, or maybe you're going to need help with bathing or personal grooming, or you need home renovations to enable you to stay in that home safely and securely. Or maybe you can't leave your home, but you need somebody to come in and do things like a doctor, a nurse, a podiatrist, a dentist, or to have your prescriptions delivered to you. Well, House Calls on Wheels is the answer to all of that. House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. And all the medical services are covered by insurance. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour. So if you or someone you know needs a helping hand at home, call House Calls on Wheels for a free in-home consultation. And that toll-free number is 1-888-489-8980. All right? That's 1-888-489-8980.
And welcome, and I hope you listened. As they say, the problem many times is that you may hear stuff, but you don't really listen. The best description I can give you of that is that if you compare hearing and listening, it's been described in terms of communication that obviously we communicate with words. When you're hearing, the words sort of fall on your lap. When you're listening, those words go into your brain. It's sort of a way out description of the two concepts. But so many times people say something and the other person doesn't quite understand what was said, was because, quite frankly, they didn't listen. I pride myself on having a series of Ikeisms, and one of them that I like to quote is the whole aspect of how many times have you heard, it's not what you say, but how you say it that counts. Frankly, Ikeism states that's not necessarily always the case. The case is, it does not matter so much many times what you say or how you say it. What counts is whether you are understood. Isn't that the essence of communication? Well, I hope I can communicate to you properly. The sponsors that we just highlighted, the moving company Aberdeen and House Calls on Wheels, these are ways that we can help you stay independent. These are entrepreneur type people. And for the next month and a half until the end of September, if you enjoy going out to the Renaissance Festival, we have a limited supply of tickets. If you will call any of our sponsors just to talk to them and find out or get a bid from them, you will be getting 2 free tickets to the Renaissance Festival, even if you decide not to take their offers. So I'm trying to reach out to you so that we can stay in touch. And if you do want to touch, tomorrow, Thursday, and almost every Thursday on the calendar, we meet at Level 1 Bank, 37100 Woodward, southeast corner of Big Beaver and Woodward. It's a great group of people. I've met so many people over the years, and you get a chance to introduce yourself. You have a chance to also enter our drawing to possibly be on the radio show and hopefully make you almost famous. So all you got to do is show up. It's free to attend, 9:15 to 10:30, Level 1 Bank, and that's on the southeast corner of Big Beaver and Woodward. We'll provide you with free coffee and free refreshments. And we have great speakers so that you will definitely walk out smarter than you walked in. Now, I don't want you to show up if you want to walk out dumber than you walked in, because that defeats our purpose. And I had the joy of having 2 new members of our entrepreneurs group in studio with me today. One is David Hopman, who is an artist, photo creator, creative educator, and also a Dr. Dustin Marsh, who is a psychologist, and he has a unique and very interesting approach for entrepreneurs, or even if you're not entrepreneurs, on how you can live a more relaxed and successful life. We'll have him on in our next segment. But first, I'd like for you to hear the wisdom and talents of David Hopman. He's a photo creative artist and educator. And he's already educated me a bit. Hopefully he'll educate you a whole bunch. And he's got a phenomenal concept of virtual reality. Hello, Mr. David Hopman. How are you?
I'm very good today.
Okay, you might get closer to the mic.
And I want to thank you, Ike, for having me on your show today.
Well, I am grateful that you're here. So, you are titled as a photo creative artist and educator. In shirt sleeve English, what does that mean?
It means my entire life I've been a professional photographer, as well as a sculptor and a printmaker, and I'm an educator. I teach at the university level. I've lived in Italy and taught in Florence for 7 years at Lorenzo de' Medici. It's a university for students abroad for a semester or a whole year. Wow. And I also teach workshops, photographic workshops, and creative process. I write about creative process quite a bit, and I just love art and the creativity of it.
So do you welcome audiences that you can share your thoughts with? Are you too busy doing the virtual reality program that you described?
The virtual reality program, which I'm sure we'll talk about very soon, is I am open. I am open to teaching photographic workshops, and I kind of specialize in one sense with the iPhone, just in a generality, that most people have a phone in their pocket and don't really have a great understanding how to use it best. And it's pretty simple, and I think probably a 2-3 hour workshop, people would gain a great deal and enjoy the process more of making photographs of their friends, their family, landscapes, trips, and things like that. It would help them get more involved and more appreciative of the photographic process and the creative process.
Oh, that sounds terrific, because obviously we figure, hey, I just snap a picture and that's it. But meanwhile, it's like a lot of things in life.
There's more to it than that.
There's more to it.
Right.
Paul Harvey, who was one of my idols, used to say, the rest of the story. The rest of the story
Right.
is you don't know how much you don't know. Is that right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Now, do you want to give out our phone number? They're always welcome to call our toll-free number if anyone is interested in finding out more about you.
Sure. My personal phone number is 505-328-5061. I've just recently moved from Santa Fe, so I have that 505 prefix.
So it's 505-328-5061. If people want to find out more about how they can really improve their photographic talents. And of course, we have our toll-free number, 888-489-8980. And maybe we can talk afterward about how we can possibly put together a workshop in, let's say, a community center.
Yes,
And then,
wonderful. Yeah.
and then we can also have demonstrations of virtual reality.
Yeah.
It sounds so sexy. What is virtual reality?
Well,
You might pull yourself closer to the microphone.
I could pull this closer to me.
Okay,
That's
good.
even better because I was kind of comfortable there.
Okay, well, unfortunately, the microphone wasn't comfortable.
No, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
That's all right. Go ahead.
Excuse me. So the
That's
question
okay.
is, what is virtual reality?
You're right.
So let me just preface it with this. Now, I'm speaking of virtual reality, and virtual reality is a way to immerse yourself in a photographic image, or in my case, I'm shooting virtual reality videos. But my concept is to use virtual reality to bring the immersive content of nature into therapeutic facilities and for stress reduction and anxiety reduction. I think across the board, not just particularly for therapeutic facilities, but just for people in general. It just helps them get grounded, relieve their stress, and so forth. But virtual reality is a budding and a new technology. It has been around for quite a while. You know, I'm talking years, but it's somehow comparable to digital cameras when they first came out and computers. It's pretty much in its budding stage. It's in its infancy. Although the quality is quite good, I expect the quality to improve exponentially in the next few years. But it's an experiential kind of way to be immersed in photographic imagery, and it's very real. Right. When you look behind you, you see what was behind you. If you were if you were standing in a particular spot. If you look down or up, again, you see the sky. You'll see the ground below you, left and right. It's a total immersive experience. So it's fascinating, and it's three-dimensional too.
Right. Well, this is what's so exciting. I got excited about it, and before we got on the air, you showed some of the staff people here, and everybody kept saying, "Wow, wow,
Oh,
wow."
that's true.
And I cannot verbalize the exciting thing about it, and hopefully you're going to be joining us tomorrow at our entrepreneur meeting, and people can actually they put on picture these goggles, and they're very comfortable. You don't have to strap them on your head or anything. You just look through and visualize being in a beautiful forest or out in nature, and suddenly, like we talked about photography, it's not just a flat picture, but you feel you're right in there.
That's correct.
It's incredible.
It is.
I mean, when you say virtual reality, it sounds fancy-dancy, but what it means, and you said immersive.
Immersive, yes.
Immersive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sounds very fancy, but I have a very small mind and a very limited vocabulary. And when I hear immersive, it's the same thing that if you were wanting to swim,
Exactly.
and you look at the swimming pool, and you can be given all the instructions there is, but until you jump in and immerse yourself in that water, you don't really appreciate what
That's
it
a great
is,
analogy.
right?
I've never I'm going to keep that one. That's
You
very
got
well
it.
done. Yeah.
That's what's called
Does it cost me any
entrepreneurship.
extra
All
for
right,
that?
you have it. It's yours. I mean, the point is that I love nature, and in fact, I visualize many times these wonderful things about life just in looking at the trees and the shaking of the trees. And you see that, and what's exciting about it is these are just simple-looking goggles. And like you brought out, it's not a matter that you see one picture. If you look up, you actually see what's up there. And then you turn around and you see what's behind you.
That's correct.
It's almost like having eyes behind your head.
It pretty much is. And if you find a particular place within that environment,
Right.
you can just park yourself
Right.
and let it roll.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, what you're offering is fantastic. They always have, different tips on when you're overstressed and how to relax.
Who's not?
And especially when you're trying to fall asleep, and they tell you you can't count that many sheep. First of all, I get stuck after 100 anyway, so and it's rather boring. But you put these glasses on, and you suddenly see nature. And I'm not making this up. One of my best strategies when I'm ever having difficulty falling asleep is I loved summer camp.
As did I.
So I think back and I visualize the lake and the cabins and some of the fun events I had, but primarily the lake. There's something
It's the water
between
element.
water.
That's right.
I mean, there is definitely a connection of human beings with water.
Right.
Well, what I love especially about what you're actually involved with, virtual reality, is like we were talking about swimming and being immersed in water.
That's correct.
This, you can get immersed and you don't get wet.
That's a good point. No, I try to incorporate a water element into my content.
Wow.
Which I'm calling whenever
wow.
I can.
Okay, well, if anyone is interested, your number is 505-328-5061, and it's free to attend our meeting tomorrow, and you'll get a chance to actually see what we're talking about.
Experience.
Experience,
Because you see a
right.
photograph,
Yeah.
virtual reality in this particular sense of
Right.
experience.
That is exciting, and I'm really so glad that we had a chance to share these thoughts, and hopefully we'll get you in front of some of these organizations that are looking for interesting stuff
Right.
to talk about and do.
That'd be fantastic. Can I just add one?
Sure, go
little quick
ahead.
thing?
Right.
So my company is called EnviroVR. That's my startup. And my premise is, as we talked about nature and this beauty and it's inspirational, is to bring this content using virtual reality into therapeutic facilities, whatever they may be, hospitals, hospice,
Right.
for PTSD. I just
Right.
wanted to make that point clear,
Oh,
but it's
yeah.
also for everybody.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought that up because unfortunately I've had so many experiences with relatives and friends who end up in a psychiatric type unit, and they're confined in a room.
It's very
how much
alienating.
and how much benefit do they have by looking at four walls?
Zero.
And they have a window that you can look out at a parking lot.
It's a negative.
No,
Basically,
right.
right. Environments,
So
hospitals are very sterile.
I see some phenomenal opportunities,
Yeah.
and anyone listening, feel free to call our toll-free number 888-489-8980, and we can work it out to have you see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I'd love to talk to you some more, but I want to give our next guest, Dr. Dustin Marsh, a chance to share his talents. So please forgive, and we'll take a brief break, and we'll be right back.
Thank you,
Don't
Ike.
you go away.
Thank you.
When it's time to move, don't trust all your memories and most prized possessions to just some guys with a truck. Get personalized first-class treatment from bonded and experienced moving professionals. If you're confused about all the details involved in moving from one household to another, call 1-888-489-8980. Is always the concern of who should I call about the utilities? How shall I handle my household appliances? What should I do about my pets? what do I need to handle in advance of the move? For a free brochure titled Practical Hints to Make Moving Day Easier, call Aberdeen Van Lines at 1-888-489-8980. We can even help you in selling your home or any furniture that you may no longer wish for your next move. Let Aberdeen help make your move a dream. So call 1-888-489-8980 now.
If you need a helping hand to stay at home, or maybe you'd like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or run errands for you, or maybe you're going to need help with bathing or personal grooming, or you need home renovations to enable you to stay in that home safely and securely. Or maybe you can't leave your home, but you need somebody to come in and do things like a doctor, a nurse, a podiatrist, a dentist, or to have your prescriptions delivered to you. Well, House Calls on Wheels is the answer to all of that. House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. And all the medical services are covered by insurance. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour. So if you or someone you know needs a helping hand at home, call House Calls on Wheels for a free in-home consultation. And that toll-free number is 1-888-489-8980. All right? That's 1-888-489-8980.
And welcome back, and hopefully you got our message. Tomorrow, Thursday, and almost every Thursday, we meet over at Level 1 Bank, 37100 Woodward, southeast corner of Big Beaver and Woodward. It's free to attend, free coffee, free refreshments, and some fantastic free advice. So join us. We have a speaker, and if you feel comfortable with our group, by all means, you could be a speaker. And we're also going to be initiating on Tuesday morning, same time frame, out in West Bloomfield at the All Season Center. So you have no excuse. East side, west side, we're there for you, but you got to show up. And fortunately, Dr. Dustin Marsh showed up at our last meeting, and he's a psychologist and has taken his professional background and applied it to coaching, ideally for entrepreneurs or people that are in a leadership type position and just want to be the best that they can. He has the talent, because of his psychology background, to also be a personal coach. And his company is Long Neck Agency. You're going to say, wow, a psychologist, long neck. What does that got to do with psychology? Well, I think Dustin, Dr. Marsh, is like about 6 foot something. What is it? How tall?
You're right. Yeah. 6'7".
6 foot. See, so he's got a long neck. Do you see the connection here, folks? Wow.
That's it. That's the main reason.
Well, he can really look all over you and as well as around you, and how to be more successful. I just wanted to give you the opportunity, as we do at our Entrepreneur Network meetings, for you to give your 60-second elevator pitch. Go for it.
Sure. So first of all, I appreciate the opportunity of coming in and being on the radio show. But my 60-second pitch would be, first, my name, Dr. Dustin Marsh, the Long Neck Agency. The purpose of the Long Neck Agency is to build a compassionate ripple effect amongst our community by working with folks who impact it, with reaching out to through services to the community as well as in their personal lives. This is through developing a better understanding of self, as well as addressing many of the issues that I have listed on my website. But
what is your website?
the website is thelongneckagency.com. It's a little lengthy, but hopefully worth the typing.
I see. Well, it's easy to spell thelongneckagency.com. And I just wondered, someone comes into your office, Dr. Marsh, what's the initial conversation like?
So we first start out with a free consultation, and the real premise of it is to identify where the person is at and where they want to go, sort of what the vision is. And from there we create an action plan, really zoom in on what we are focusing our efforts towards, and then creating effective action. So this can be a couple of years out, this can be a year out, bringing it closer and closer, a month, couple weeks, but then really looking at what we do in the moment. Can we commit to these changes in minute ways that over time will then change the way that we are as a person, being the person we want to be?
Now, someone comes in, how much time is that initial consultation?
Well, it ranges. I'm a flexible person, but also recognizing that time is really of the essence. It's all we got sometimes. But I like to keep it around 30 minutes or so to give the opportunity for the person to get to know me to get to know them, and see if this is a workable relationship to build.
Now, you mentioned an action plan. Do you have like homework for them to do as a follow-up, or do you just leave it out in the open?
Well, so the concept of personal coaching is being in close contact, is really building a cohesive or a wraparound model of how we work together. So oftentimes coaching is laid out in 1-hour sessions, sometimes once a month, sometimes once every other week. My purpose is to have sort of a smaller clientele by which the quality is unparalleled. And so with that, I have the opportunity to work with them on a weekly basis, and then looking at what works for them. So if homework and follow-ups and reaching out to me in between helps them become the person they want to be, then so be it.
Do you work out some sort of a time schedule? Hey, we're going to meet next week, and at that time I'd like you to have done whatever you decided on. So is that something that you do?
To an extent, but I don't put those implications on somebody. It's really looking at what makes this work important for them, and then them committing to this on their own sort of choice as it pertains to the importance that it carries in their life. And then my role is to kind of be with them and objectively share feedback when we may be hitting an obstacle, look at what that obstacle is, and then keep striving forwards. Yeah.
Now, in between visits, if they have a particularly angst moment, do you welcome those kind of calls?
Sure. So, in this new age of technology, we have the opportunity for text messaging, we have the opportunity for emails. This coincides with sort of what we would talk about in that free consultation. Given my background as a therapist, I have the responsibility to maintain confidentiality, and so with that permission, then we can then move forward in those steps.
So I'm still from the old-fashioned school of phone calls. If someone wants to call you, what phone number would you like to give out?
So it's an area code 213-663-6862.
So that's, to repeat?
Area code 213-663-6862.
Okay, and I'm going to put you on the spot. If people show up tomorrow, Thursday, you'll give them a free consultation. Am I right? If time permits.
Sure, it depends on the nature of the relationship, because if it's networking, it's networking.
Okay, well, we can do it after the session. And right now, unfortunately, we run out of time, and I only have enough time for my favorite parting thought for this segment, which is, if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there is no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.
WNZK has available a few good hours of airtime for a few good programs to serve their communities. Radio is better than ever in targeting an audience that listens to what you say. Learn more about this exciting radio broadcasting opportunity by calling WNZK Radio.